Hello, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is your full moon and Scorpio message. It is a collective general reading. So as the messages come through today, please take what fits and leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means that it is meant for someone else. And check out your other placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. If you're not sure what those placements are, in the description box is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. With all of that said now, let's begin. So for this set of readings, what I did was I created 12 spiritual bags, one for each zodiac sign. Inside every bag is a selenite as well as a glass evil eye pendant to protect you, the message, as well as the person whose energy we're tapping into. I can't believe how itchy my nose is all of a sudden for your reading. That's usually a sign for me when I do the private reading. So this reading for you might feel like extra personal or extra special. I included them in every bag to protect you, the message, and the person we're tapping into. So who's the person we're tapping into? Any connection here in your life, professional, platonic, or romantic, the intention of the reading is to see how the most transformational relationship in your life, whether they're in your past or you're currently dealing with them, was meant to transform you or meant to be a catalyst of change for you. Nose, tip of nose, very itchy. Okay, let's begin. Your oracle card, card number 10, Buffalo Spirit. The abundant universe will provide. Cracked cup, dissatisfaction with life. Crib, birth or conception of a child or enterprise. And then bull, do not back down from opposition. Show strength and fortitude. I almost feel like it's this way. So the abundant universe will provide. Something here that did not work out was intended to get you to not back down, to show your strength, to show your fortitude, and to push through. Crib, to birth something new here in your life or nurture something new in your life. You also have flexibility, spontaneity, and surrender. Okay, your cards, you're on the right track. Trust is at issue. Use your gut and don't engage in emotions. And then you have retreat. Timing is everything. Okay. Your stone, dream, and the letters. These could be your initials, this person's initials. Maybe it spells out a word just to add like a little extra confirmation for you for the reading. But they're just letters. They don't make or break the reading, so please don't force them to fit if they don't. Letters, S, T, O, W, U, L, J, W, O, S. Again, you have STOWULJWOS and your charms. Oh, and you also have the letter E there as well. Sorry about that. Your charms, we have a print, like an animal print, like a dog print or a cat paw print. You have a cross. It doesn't mean that you're, have to be Christian. I just feel like it's more like something in regards to your spirituality or your religion or your morals or beliefs are very important to you, whatever they may be. We have a music note. Perhaps you're in the music industry, this person's in the music industry, or there could be something here in regards to like a particular song that reminds you of them. We then have a tape measure, taking a measured approach. You have a mirror, could be something here about like vanity or also just taking very good care of yourself. We have a lightning bolt. Interesting. We have Sagittarius symbol, expansion, growth, moving forward. And you also have, what is this? We have a pair of glasses here, but what's very different with these is, I don't even know if they still make these, but once upon a time, there were sunglasses where there could be like prescription sunglasses, but they had also like a second set of lenses that were like flip lenses. So you could wear them out like in the daytime when the sun is out. So they're your prescription eyeglasses, but then they had the flip sun lenses on them as well. So maybe you had to take off rose-colored glasses or see something clearly, or that's what this person was intended to help you do. Okay, let's get into the Pisces collective now, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What does Pisces need to know about the most transformational relationship in their life? How is it meant to transform them or be a catalyst of change for them? And for some of you, maybe it's like a group of people or a set of people in your life. one more shuffle here. Thank you. We have the Star, we have the Magician, and we have the Seven of Wands. We have the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Nine of Swords, and we have the Ace of Swords. We have the World card, completion. Okay, the Devil and the Nine of Pentacles, bottom of the deck, the Lovers. Could be a romantic partner for some of you. It doesn't have to be. Whether this person is still in your life or not, the lesson here has been learned. I often see the World card as completion. If you live in the United States, you're familiar with the 4 years of high school. That's kind of how I look at the World card. We have the 4 fixed signs in the corner, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Once we complete high school, in 52 years of my time on this earth, I've never known anyone to voluntarily want to go back to high school after graduating those 4 years. You could, all right, the option is there. You could stay in the situation, environment, or connection. You could repeat that lesson over and over again, even with different people. But you don't have to, is the point. Like the lesson's complete. Everything you had to learn from that connection or the string of connections that we're tapping into today, you have learned. We're going to use the After Tarot deck now to clarify this message. If you're not familiar with the After Tarot deck, the images are slightly different, and that does alter the meaning of the cards, but we'll go through them as necessary in your reading today. For Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements, we are clarifying the Star, the Magician, Seven of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, Ace of Swords, the World card, the Devil, and the Nine of Pentacles. Let's get one more shuffle here. Thank you. The Star is clarified by the Five of Cups. The Magician is clarified by the Ten of Pentacles. The Seven of Wands is clarified by the Ten of Swords. The Queen of Pentacles is clarified by the Four of Wands. The Nine of Swords is clarified by the Eight of Swords. The Ace of Swords is clarified by the Six of Wands. The World card is clarified by the Hermit. The Devil is clarified by the Knight of Cups. And the Nine of Pentacles is clarified by the Three of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we have High Priestess, Seven of Pentacles, Strength, and I see that Star card showing itself. Let's begin to clarify. Clarify the Star here. For the Pisces collective, clarify the Star. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Star is clarified by the Hanged Man, the King of Pentacles. We now have King to the Queen of Pentacles from the same deck on the table, and we have the Knight of Swords. Bottom of the deck, we have Justice. Clarify that Five of Cups. In the After Tarot deck, well, typically what we see in the Five of Cups is someone lamenting over the 3 cups that have spilled. And some tarot readers refer to the card as like the river of tears. However, in the After Tarot deck, the individual is not crying over the 3 cups that are spilled. They're eyeing a new connection or a new way of doing connection. Clarifying that Five of Cups, we have the Seven of Pentacles, we have the High Priestess, and we have the Seven of Wands. Bottom of the deck, we have Wheel of Fortune. Please don't be upset. These messages are intended to help all of us understand why someone was in our life. So it appears here that prior to this person entering, and I don't know who this person is, a business partner, your boss, a friend, a family member that you connected, reconnected with, a romantic partner, you already had an ending. Okay, you had an ending because the 3 cups were spilled, and now you were interested in connecting with someone new. You know, you lost a job, you're looking for the new boss. The romantic partnership ended, you're looking for a new partner. The friendship ended, you're looking for a new friend. You get the gist. So there was some Tower moment prior to you even meeting this person. You were healing, you were in the process of healing, Star card, and you then had your eye now on that new connection, professional, platonic, or romantic. This person now comes in. The Hangman, the King of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords. This person comes in, they contact you, there's communication here between you and them. Seven of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the Seven of Wands. And you decided, internal to you, High Priestess, I always look at that as not only talking about our intuition. She's the only individual, I say she, there's a woman, but you could be a masculine. High Priestess is the only individual in tarot who holds within their hand the book of knowledge. So this is someone who is incredibly knowledgeable, very spiritual, can hold a lot of secrets, but I also see it as Piscean energy. So I see you here when this person enters your space, your reality, your 3D world. There's a pause here in that Seven of Pentacles. Not sure if you want to engage in the connection with them. And then I feel like you do decide to engage in the connection with them. This person, on the onset of your connection with them, crossed a boundary. Seven of Wands, sometimes I see as I draw a line in the sand, and I'm ready to defend that boundary. So almost immediately upon engaging with this person, there was a red flag. They had crossed the boundary, and you had the ability to defend yourself. Some of you did it, some of you did, some of you didn't. If I speak too slow or too fast, please forgive me. I don't change the setting on my readings, but there is a gear icon on the video, and you can adjust that speed. You can make me speak faster or slower depending on, you know, your liking. Sometimes I channel quickly, sometimes I channel slowly. I really can't control that. So the feeling here is I'm out of another connection, professional, platonic, or romantic. A new connection comes in, professional, platonic, or romantic. I pause on whether or not I want to engage with this person. I decide, my intuition tells me to move forward with engagement. And very early on, there's some kind of red flag here. This person crosses a boundary. And although I'm highly intuitive, I'm just speaking like you, I continue to invest in the connection. Magician to the Ten of Pentacles. You're not just deciding to continue to invest in the connection, you're actually manifesting for the best possible outcome. So the boss crossed the boundary. They asked me in my first week to work an extra hour. I did. I got my paycheck. I didn't get paid. That's a boundary. That's a professional boundary that's crossed. I asked this person asked me to go out on a date. They told me they were going to pay for it. We get to the date and they ask for 2 separate checks when we sit at the table. That's a boundary that was just crossed, right? Because we had an agreement here. But again, it was like, I'm going to still manifest. I'm still going to go to work. I'm not going to quit my job because they didn't pay me for 1 hour. I'm just going to manifest best possible outcome here, that my boss does not treat me this way in the future. Same thing if it's someone that you dated. You still were manifesting best possible outcome here. So you had good intention, even though you missed a red flag in the beginning. And even if you addressed it, it's like you forgave the person and continued to invest. Magician. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Magician is clarified by the Hierophant, the Death card, and the Four of Cups, bottom of deck strength. So in light of that boundary that was crossed, or promise that was broken, or red flag that you noticed, as disappointing as it was, you decided, like I said, to manifest best possible outcome here. Clarify that Ten of Pentacles. One more shuffle. Thank you. Ten of Pentacles, clarified by the Hierophant again. The Eight of Pentacles, and the Magician shows itself again. Bottom of the deck's the Six of Pentacles. So even though this person didn't pay you adequately, or they shorted your first check, or like I said, it was a friend that maybe was a little deceptive. I didn't get the Seven or Five of Swords there, but something was amiss. Something left you in that Four of Cups, or you're like, I'm not really happy that the person just did that, or said that, or acted that way, or broke a promise. Something like that here occurred. It was minor enough for you to notice, but it wasn't major enough for you to say, I'm going to quit the job or stop dating them. So you persisted, because Hierophant to the Hierophant, you believed, this is a company I'm supposed to be at. This is the person I'm supposed to be working for or working with. Could be a business partner even for some of you. This is a community group that I want to be part of. The Hierophant could be a lot of different things. So broad general view of how I see the Hierophant. Some type of institution, if you will, or contract, if you will. And that could mean a community, political, or civic or religious organization that we're part of, right? We feel like they are aligned to our values and our values are aligned to them. So there's an engagement there with this broader group. It could certainly be marriage, someone you want to be married to, or someone that you were married to. It certainly could be the institution or corporation that you work for, or even a company that you own yourself if you're an entrepreneur. So the Hierophant is different for all of you, but you believed in it. You believed that the mission and vision and values were the same, and that you and this person wanted the same for this connection, professional, platonic, or romantic, even though there was a little hiccup in the beginning. Seven of Wands. The boundaries crossed the second time now. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Seven of Wands is clarified by the Knight of Pentacles. So the person crosses the boundaries again. There you are, whether you're masculine or feminine. And that boundary that was crossed was supposed to be some kind of lesson there for you. It was burdensome. Whatever they did created a heavier burden on you. For me, queens exist in the present because they process the past, and kings take action. You, in this moment, were supposed to take action. You were supposed to do something about that boundary or that line being crossed again, or the second promise that was broken, something like that. You were supposed to take action because that Seven of Wands showed up twice. So they crossed the boundary twice. That was your moment to take action. Bottom of the deck was the Lovers. That was your choice in that moment. Ten of Swords. I think it was your choice to put an end to this. I don't believe that you did. I think you offered this person grace that they didn't deserve. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Ten of Swords is clarified by the Devil, the Six of Cups, and the Seven of Swords. Bottom of the deck, Ace of Pentacles. You gave this person grace. This was your moment to utilize your intuition, to utilize your emotions, how them crossing a boundary a second time with you, or breaking a promise a second time with you, how that emotionally affected you, what your intuition was telling you about it. We don't have any swords here in terms of thought process. So it was supposed to be like a head over heart decision, or I should really say intuition over head over heart decision, but you didn't do that. You should have put the Ten of Swords and done, right? Cross me a second time, cheat on me a second time, you lied on me a second time, you shorted my pay a second time, I'm out of here. Typically what we see in the some of the tarot decks that I have with the Ten of Swords, person's laying on their stomach or on their back, and they're giving an okay sign. At least in the original Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck they are. But in the After Tarot deck, it's done, it's dead, it's over. The connection is on the gurney. This person's holding a sword, sort of looks like a cross again. Not a nod to Christianity, just this is a bit of a burial, right? These two people are carrying the gurney of this connection out to sea. So that should have been your moment there to say, I'm going to put an end to this, but you didn't. Because of whatever affection or affinity or respect that you had for this person, you decided, I'm still going to try to make this work. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, even though this is the second time that they have slighted me. And I'm just going to watch and wait and see if they do it a third time. That's what I mean by you giving this person grace. In the After Tarot deck, the Seven of Swords is not someone who's actually engaging in active Seven of Sword behavior, but it's someone who's watching to make sure they don't engage in Seven of Sword behavior again. And I say that because the person's just about to step in the trap. So I think you gave this person grace. The Devil card, which typically shows two people attached to one another, or the podium that the devil presides over, and they're shackled to that. The After Tarot deck shows them freed. So I think you gave this person grace. I don't think that you wanted to judge them based on what you were already seeing to be some type of toxic trend or pattern. Six of Cups tells me, again, there was that affinity there of love or connection, even just respect or admiration. And it was like, I'm going to give them grace and see if they do it a third time. You were quite generous with this person. Queen of Pentacles to the Four of Wands. There's still a desire here to invest in the Four of Wands with this person. The relationship, the structure, the stability that they offered you, that you offered them, house and home. Queen of Pentacles, clarified by the Fool. I'm just going to try this again. The Fool, the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. Bottom of the deck, the Chariot. Maybe an exchange of apologies here. If this is a romantic partner, maybe like a reignition of some type of intimate connection between the two of you occurs, and you continue to move forward. Four of Wands. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Four of Wands, clarified by the King of Wands. Remember, Queens exist in the present for me because they process the past. Kings take action. King of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the Empress. Bottom of the deck, Two of Wands. And there you are together. So regardless of how many Seven of Wands where they crossed that boundary that you had, or whatever deception occurred there, however many times, again, we're looking at the third time now that you gave this person an opportunity to continue to collaborate and connect with you in some type of passionate creative endeavor at work, maybe going to a fun event with that friend, even though they crushed you a few times, you know, again, maybe engaging in some type of intimacy with this romantic partner. You continually took action to try to save or salvage the relationship, even though this person was giving you really big key indicators that they were not operating at the level that you're operating at. Like they weren't at the same vibration. Nine of Swords to the Eight of Swords. Clarify that Nine of Swords. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Nine of Swords is clarified by Temperance, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles. God love you. Because even after the third time, they did it again for most of you. And there was this worry and anxiety of, am I doing the right thing by staying in this? Should I really continue putting in effort here? Because I keep trying to alchemize or rebalance this relationship. Sometimes the Temperance card could talk about mission and purpose. So it's, am I being foolish here? I'm speaking like you. Am I being foolish here to think that this person, I have the same mission and purpose for this connection? That they value me as much as, of an employee as I value them as an employer or a business partner or, again, friend, family member, romantic partner. You started questioning yourself in that Nine of Swords. Am I doing the right thing by still investing in that Ten of Pentacles, which was the original thing that I wanted with this connection? Eight of Swords. Clarify the Eight of Swords. One more shuffle. Thank you. And in the After Tarot deck, the Eight of Swords, the person is freed. So there was a breakthrough moment here that you had. Eight of Swords is clarified by the Chariot, Justice, and the Page of Cups. Bottom of the deck, Ace of Pentacles, Page of Swords. There's that Knight of Wands again. Despite this person's maybe ability to try to sweet talk you or offer an apology, you seem to come to the realization here, again, some point in the past here with this person, that the connection was off balance and that you were the only one putting in effort. And this person was showing up in Page energy. You're showing up in King energy, King of Cups, King of Wands, maybe even Emperor or Empress energy there with the Empress card. And this person keeps showing up as a Page. So there's a realization here that we're not on the same level. We are not a match. They're not respecting me the way I am respecting them. The bottom of the other deck is the Six of Pentacles. So there's an acknowledgement here. This is not fair. This is off balance. It's supposed to be fair. It's supposed to be balanced. It's supposed to be reciprocal, but it's not. I constantly feel like I'm begging. I'm begging for raises. I'm begging for promotion. I'm begging for accolades. I'm begging for a pat on the back. I'm begging for love. I'm begging for intimacy. Like whatever this was, I'm begging for a connection. And so it dawns on you. Ace of Swords. You get that moment of clarity. That becomes your spiritual victory in the Six of Wands, was the realization, no matter how many chances you gave this person, they were not going to step up. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Ace of Swords is clarified by the Emperor, the Page of Pentacles, and the Two of Cups. Bottom of the deck, the Strength card. It's like you had this clarity that this person was not your equal, Emperor to the Empress, even though at some point in time you believe they were. I don't read body parts, so, but, you can be the Emperor, you could be the Empress. There could be two Empresses here or two Emperors. God love you. I don't judge. But the feeling here is, in the Ace of Swords, you're having this aha epiphany moment, this clarity, this union, this connection. I thought we were on the same page. We're clearly not. No matter how many chances I give this person, they're not stepping up. Clarify the Six of Wands. Clarify the Six of Wands. One more shuffle. Thank you. Six of Wands is clarified by the Fool, the Page of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, Eight of Wands. Some type of communication information here, I feel, took place between you and this person. It looks like it brought about an end to the connection. I don't know what you found out, what they found out, what you said to them, what they said to you. It's going to be different. But whatever transpired there in that small Page of Swords was the enlightenment you needed, that we're not on the same page, and this person has been wearing a false mask for quite some time. The World card. This was the ending. This was the lesson. Clarify the World card. Clarify the lesson here. So this was the dissatisfaction with life. This was you not backing down, being a bull, being honest with yourself, seeing the reality of this particular connection, and having the strength and fortitude to say, I need to birth a new enterprise, acquire a new job, disconnect from this person, find a new friend, a new community group to be part of, start over without this romantic partner in my life, maybe even get a divorce. That I feel like these cards are really on point here for you. I think you tried to be as flexible as possible with this person. And I think there was a moment in time here where you just surrendered. And you were just like, I can't do this anymore. Trust is at issue. So again, with that Seven of Swords, a couple of times they crossed your boundaries. You stopped trusting them. And I think you kept retreating. I think you wanted to take action. You didn't. You kept retreating back. I'm going to give them benefit of doubt. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. And then finally, when you had that Ace of Swords moment, however it came across to you, painfully or not painfully, that's when you started to get on the right track for this new beginning. Tell me about the World card. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Three of Swords. And it came with some heartbreak. Because again, you gave this person the benefit of the doubt. Hierophant to the Hierophant. You believed that this was a person that was supposed to be in your life for quite some time. That you had the same values, the same work ethic, you know, the same approach to friendship, to connection, to romantic partnership. The World, the Six of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords. Bottom of the deck, Ace of Wands. And a lot of healing. Quite the cycle of healing there for you after you realized this person had been breadcrumbing you or just full out taking advantage of your kindness. The Hermit. Tell me about the introspection here. One more shuffle here. Thank you. I feel like with that dream card, the dream stone, I feel like this was a dream, a wish, a goal you had that this would have worked out. And you wanted it to be rooted in reality. And as much as you gave your all to it, this person just did not. The Hermit is clarified by the Five of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the King of Cups. Bottom of the deck, Two of Pentacles. Remember, you were the King of Cups originally here as well. So now you finally decided to dump out that cup. I don't want that job anymore. I don't want that person in my life anymore. I don't want to be in a marriage or a relationship or connection with this person. King of Cups is dumping out the cup. Originally, you were holding firm to that cup. I'm not going to let this cup go. And here in the After Tarot deck, you're pouring it out. You're seeing it for what it is. Queen of Wands, based upon your past experience with this person. Because again, Queens process the past. Five of Wands. In spite of the emotional heartache that you felt over this ending, there was no argument with you. The Five of Wands, no one is arguing. You were not in disagreement with yourself. Where originally you were, heart was telling you to do one thing, you know, stay in it. Intuition was telling you to leave. You know, the mind was confused about what to do with this person. This is no argument. So it's like completely aligned here at the end. Like body, mind, and spirit, if you will. That this connection had to come to an end. And you needed a new beginning, an Ace of Wands elsewhere. The Devil. New opportunity here. Tell me about the Devil. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Devil is clarified by the Ten of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Three of Wands. Someone oddly similar to that person, and it could even be that person itself, is attempting re-entry here into your life. It's either on the precipice of this ending, or while this is ending, this person is trying to get back into your good graces. That person that you said, I'm not going to judge them based on toxic pattern, here they are with the Devil. So take it how it resonates to you. Same person or someone new on the heels of this ending enters a picture there in that Knight of Cups. One more shuffle. Thank you. Knight of Cups, clarified by the Two of Swords, the Nine of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles. There's that offer, that opportunity, Hangman, pause. So when the next connection comes in, and it doesn't have to be tit for tat. Like this could have been a really bad boss, and this could be a love partner. Because we're just looking at the broad scope of relationships, any connection. So it doesn't have to be this was a family member, this is another family member, okay? When the next connection comes in, and it will, it's a little bit of a test for you. It's a test to see if you're going to allow someone to cross your boundaries. Because this person is going to end up crossing your boundaries here. And you're supposed to, you do what you want, you're supposed to recognize the pattern. Even if it's an entirely different person in a different type of station here in your life. I feel like it's a lesson here you haven't learned, Pisces. And I think you went through this with a lot of people. I think you continually give people the benefit of the doubt. And I think people continually take advantage of your good nature. And we've seen that in your readings in the last 25 months that I've been doing readings here on YouTube. We've seen that a lot. Different friends and family members and lovers crossing you, and coworkers and bosses and neighbors. You know, again, different for all of you. But a lot of your readings have shown multiple people at different points of your life have attempted to take advantage of your good nature and always giving grace and not holding firm to your boundaries. The Piscean collective, I have no Pisces in my chart, neither does my person. So before a cross-watcher drops shit in the comment box, I felt the need to address that. If you don't like cursing, too bad. Go watch someone else or make your own channel. I'm a Gemini with a Scorpio moon. Don't come at me, brah. Anyway, I have always found Pisces to be individuals who love very deeply and feel very deeply. And sometimes you have a distorted view, no offense, okay, that everyone in the world operates like you do. Or the next person will just be a good person because the last 10 weren't. You have this beautiful optimistic nature about you, but unfortunately, it's sort of what makes you prone to people who target individuals like you. And that's what I feel is about to happen. So I think this reading is a little bit of a forewarning that you were supposed to learn your lesson back there as the most intuitive sign on the zodiacal wheel. And I say that because Aries is the start. And I feel like every sign that comes after learns a little bit from the sign before, which learned a little from the sign before. So by the time we get to you, Pisces, you being the last sign on the zodiacal wheel, you have essentially acquired knowledge. That's why the High Priestess is the book of knowledge. That's why I attribute it to Pisces. You now have the knowledge of all the other 11 zodiac signs that precede you. No other zodiac sign has that. Taurus would only have 2. What they've learned and the person before them. Gemini only has 3. What they've learned and what the 2 signs before them have learned. You have all 11. And despite that, you often don't trust your intuition because there's a very good nature vibe about you. So when this person crosses your boundaries, I'm going to try to get you more on this. There's something here about you putting yourself first. The Knight of Cups in the After Tarot deck is drinking the Ace of Cups. The Nine of Cups is someone who is enjoying their happiness. They're not allowing anyone else to come in and take a piece of that, looks like turkey and all the fixings on that plate. So when this person presents you with this Ace of Pentacles, it's important for you to immediately, 2 of Swords, a decision is made in the After Tarot deck, to immediately recognize that this is a toxic pattern and to not allow this person to encroach on your happiness that you have worked so hard to restore or are in the process of restoring after this ending. I'm going to get into who or what that person is or what they're doing, but the purpose of this reading was for you to not view people through rose-colored glasses, to take those shades, if you will, the sunglass shades off of your glasses. The cross, again, whether you're Christian or not, inconsequential, but your beliefs. Just because you believe, just because you want this person to be on the same page, you can't ignore the fact that oftentimes they aren't. We meet shitty people all the time, or people who are not shitty, but they're just not aligned with us in that moment in time. And there's an importance there for you to acknowledge that. The paw print. This left an indelible mark on your life, this person or these people. Don't forget that. You need to have a very measured approach when it comes to this person or this opportunity. Surprised we didn't see the Tower, but again, that's what precedes the Star. So you've already had, that was the feeling I had, multiple towers with people here in your life. Clarify the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles, very singular energy. Someone who's very grounded, someone who's very assured of themselves, someone who's not operating from a place of codependency or toxic patterns. This is someone who wants connection, but they don't need connection. They're good on their own. One more shuffle. Thank you. They also don't force connection. Nine of Pentacles, clarified by the King of Swords. There's that Two of Swords and the Eight of Swords. Bottom of the deck, Three of Wands. This person will be, if they're not the same person, they will be oddly, oddly similar to the past, the person that you had this experience with. There we see you again in the Eight of Swords, trapped in your mind. What do I do? What do I do with this? Three of Cups. Could be someone asking you out on a date. A community group that's inviting you to participate or to join them. Certainly could be a friend or family member. Someone here is looking for collaboration, union, rejoicement, connectivity of some kind. One more shuffle. Thank you. Three of Cups, clarified by the Page of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the Death card. Bottom of the deck, King of Swords. Person shows themselves again. It might be an air sign. Looking to connect with you. There's something here of I heard bamboozle. I don't know if this person's going to try to bamboozle you. Maybe ask you for money or something like that. Take it how it resonates. But Queen of Swords, again, Queens exist in the present, process, past. There's something here about you looking at past experiences that you've had that you walked away from. And the Page of Wands in the After Tower deck, the person has left someone behind. And Death card, put an end to this immediately. There's no need to give that past person who did all of that to you any more chances, especially after you closed it out or you're in the process of closing it out. Something here about you standing your ground. Queen of Swords is a queen of brevity. Once she has clarity about something, she doesn't have to send 9 texts. She's not emotional. She doesn't have to mother F the person. She can say 2 words, like, not interested. No. No is her most powerful word. There's something here about putting an end to this. With that 10 of Pentacles showing up twice, if this has anything to do with like inheritance, wills, maybe like you're going to court with like a company or an entity, you're looking for some kind of settlement offer, maybe even if you're going through a divorce, if you're going through anything like that, the person on the other end of the lawsuit or the separation or whatever this is, the inheritance issues, they could try to provide you with like some type of negotiation or compromise. It's not to your benefit. You need to know that. It's not to your benefit. I'm not telling you not to do it, but you're going to have to get, Queen of Swords, more information on it. Don't just be like, oh, they're giving me a compromise to a divorce, or this is a compromise how we're going to divide assets, or the will, you know, or maybe you're in a court case with a company, or unemployment, or maybe you're, you know, prior place of employment for severance package or sick days that they owe you, whatever it is here. For some of you, it could be a compromise from the person that you're trying to like disengage with, or you've already disengaged with, but you still have a little unfinished business with them. Get more information. Get more information. Tell me about this person's intention here with the Pisces collective. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Intention. Queen of Swords. Going to test that boundary. Going to test your ability to say no. There's the communication, and the 5 of Cups. Bottom of the deck, 7 of Swords. Not good. So any new person crosses your path, trust but verify. And the moment you have verified that they are oddly similar to a past experience or person, no is your strongest word. Blocking them, blocking communication is the strongest action you can take here. If this is someone that you're in some type of legal issue with or something like that, it's not to your benefit. It's communication to you where you're supposed to say no, put an end to it. Because if you move forward with accepting that offer, that compromise, or that negotiation, you're left in the 5 of Cups. You're left sad that I'm doing this all over again. Remember how you entered this connection in the 5 of Cups? You're right back there. It's like you didn't learn the lesson. So new people, trust but verify. Past people who did this to you, do not pass go, do not collect $200. 3 more cards about their intentions. One more shuffle. Thank you. Strength card, 8 of Cups, and the 3 of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Judgment. You're going to have to make a judgment call on this person. For some of you, it's a past person. Or oddly reminiscent of what you went through with the past person. So before you proceed forward, 3 of Wands is the Sun in Aries. Before you proceed forward, it's important for you, Queen of Swords, to process. You got to pause here. I mean, you don't gotta. It's not even correct English grammar. You don't have to do anything. But the advice here is to pause. Doesn't this sound familiar? Last time someone offered blah, blah, blah. Oh, this person's offering a compromise? They're also the same person who did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things to me. There's something here about trusting and verifying, especially with 2 Queen of Swords here on the table. Relying on that base knowledge of your past to proceed forward very cautiously. Or Death card, not at all. I think we clarified everything here. Okay. It's possible with that Mirror card, this person is very vain, or they try to use their looks. Use their looks to intimidate. Use their looks to, be charismatic, especially like if it's a lover, the Don Juan, Don Wanda type of thing. I want to get you 3 cards for those of you where this person is no longer in your life. Yeah, this is spontaneous. I should get you timing. Can I have timing for when Pisces will be offered that, we'll just call it the Ace of Pentacles. Timing for when Pisces will be offered the Ace of Pentacles. Not every card in tarot is timing. So if we have to use another deck, we will. One more shuffle. Thank you. Wheel of Fortune and Divine Timing. Bottom of the deck, Three of Wands. So we're talking days here. Anything else here on timing? Wheel of Fortune is also the 4 fixed signs as well in this deck. So we're now in Taurus season. For some of you, it'll be Taurus season. For others of you, it will be Leo season. So remember the 4 fixed signs. And maybe you want to put a note somewhere for yourself on a calendar or Google Calendar on your phone or whatever it is that you use. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. I don't think it's Aquarius. I don't think it's Scorpio either. This is either going to be Taurus or Leo season here for you, okay? A little bit more on timing here. One more shuffle. Wheel of Fortune shows itself again. Can you believe that? I don't think I've ever seen that when I've done timing. So in Divine Timing, most likely one of the 4 fixed sign seasons, I'm strongly feeling more here like Taurus or Leo. Bottom of the deck, Queen of Cups within the next month. For me, cups are month, and the Queen is holding a cup. Right behind that, we have 2 of Cups. Yeah, it's coming from this person. So for most of you within the next month. Okay, that's wild. Let's get 3 cards for my Pisces where this person is no longer in their life. One more shuffle. Thank you. No longer in your life. 4 swords. You're healing from what they did. 7 of Cups and the 2 of Swords. Bottom of deck, 6 of Swords. So you moved on from this person, or you're in the process of moving on from them. You're healing from what they did. We saw that here as well, right, with the 3 of Swords card. And you also had the 4 of Swords. So continue to heal. You have a lot of options and choices coming before you. One in particular. Not the time to put on rose-colored glasses, not the time to be wishful thinking, not the time to believe that this person is better than they were in the past or better than any past person. There's definitely a trust but verify here. 2 of Swords is the moon in Libra. It's also the first decan of Libra. Libra is the house of partnerships, relationships, marriages, contracts, whether they are professional, platonic, or romantic. So just proceed forward cautiously with all the new opportunities because you're still in a healing stage. And when a Pisces is healing, you're vulnerable to predators as it is. When you're in a healing stage, you're even more vulnerable because you're craving connection. It's a beautiful aspect of you, but it also makes you prone to predators. So please be mindful of that as you move forward. And there you are, Queen of Cups, Knight of Cups. I'm telling you, please just be careful, okay? Let's learn this lesson once and for all. And I just say we, like the universal we, the collective we. I'm not a Pisces. 3 cards for those of you where this person, they're no longer in your life. For those of you where this person is still in your life, again, maybe something to wrap up contractually, or you have to find another job, or you're going through mediation or something like that. Still in your life. One more shuffle. Thank you. Still in your life. 4 of Wands. So you're still having that 4 of Wands with the World card. So that is closing out, Chariot. So you're in the process of closing this out and manifesting a new beginning here for yourself. Good for you. We have the Magician, we have the 8 of Swords, and we have the King of Wands. So you're taking action here to break yourself out of this. Be gentle with yourself. 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords in this deck. You could be prone at this time to some anxiety. And intense anxiety, like the type that like disturbs your sleep or maybe even fluctuates your temperature while you're sleeping. So you could wake up with like the sweats or feeling too cold. So just take very good care of yourself at this time for those of you where you are in the process of closing this out. Looks like closure by Cancer season with the Chariot. And can I get 3 cards for this oddly uncomfortable offer coming in, that Ace of Pentacles? 3 cards here. One more shuffle. Thank you. 6 of Cups. It's either from that person or someone oddly reminiscent of that person. This is also the second decan of Scorpio. So someone that you had an ending with, or again, very reminiscent to someone that you had an ending with. 6 of Cups, the 9 of Cups. Remember your happiness, okay? King of Pentacles, bottom of deck, 10 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles. there's that King of Cups. You showed up 3 times here as the King of Cups. Before you invest in whatever they're offering you, don't put on rose-colored glasses and just assume this time it'll be different. 10 of Cups. There's something here about in that 5 of Pentacles. Also notice what we don't have here are swords. Get the facts. If it's a contract, things have to be in writing. Look at the terms and conditions. It's a new employment offer. Everything needs to be in writing. If they can't put it in writing, there's a problem. You know, if this is someone asking you out on a date, I'm not telling you not to go out on the date, but don't wear rose-colored glasses on the date. I know you want the 10 of Cups. I know you're craving emotional contentment in connection, professional, platonic, or romantic, but don't be taken for a ride again. And if it has anything to do with like financial compromise or agreements, again, we don't see swords here. It's really important for you. Look at that Page of Wands, discover. You need to get more information. Just move very, very slowly. And if at any time you feel this is not sitting well, listen to that beautiful intuition you have. You're the only sign in tarot that holds the book of knowledge, the book of wisdom. Use it. Don't be afraid to say no. It'll be your strongest word in the next chapter here of your life. So from giving grace to them, you now need to learn how to give grace to yourself. So forgive yourself for allowing that person or those people to do that to you. You're a stronger Pisces. You've been forged through fire, quite literally here and figuratively. And just take a very measured approach now, moving forward. I think it was your reading where I said someone was coming in June. Let me see if it's this person. What does Pisces need to know about the individual coming in June? I'm pretty sure your reading said someone was coming in June and it was like, you kind of have to handle this by yourself right now. Like pick yourself up by your bootstraps. And I know you're good at doing that. You're good at doing that because you've had to do that a lot in your life because you've had a lot of people like this in your life. And that's what all of those lessons, that's what they were. All those different people, all those different experiences, the same lesson over and over again. You must, you don't have to do anything, but you should trust your intuition moving forward. If it doesn't feel right, if it smells funny, if something's off, no is your strongest word moving forward. What about the person coming in June? One more shuffle. Thank you. June, Page of Cups. There was that offer. 5 of Pentacles and the 6 of Swords. Bottom of that Queen of Wands. This was someone who was supposed to help you move forward, right? In some type of financial or emotional distress or something like that that you've been dealing with. So the offer comes in June. I don't think it's this person, okay? Not this person. I'm getting a bunch of spirituals on this, not that person. Tell me more about the June offer. We'll take it. You wanted to show yourself. King of Pentacles, Judgment, and the 10 of Wands. This is a person who's coming in to collaborate with you. And the after tarot deck, the 10 of Wands, the 9 Wands, the difficulty, the pattern is broken. They're like helping you through a difficult time. Okay, that's not this person. This person you need to be King of Pentacles with. Same with this person. Okay, don't give them a free ride either. The King of Pentacles is a long-term investment king. If we look at the kings in tarot like a stock market investor, I typically say King of Swords, who's my king as a Gemini, King of Swords, King of Wands. They're like the day traders of the stock market. They're going to buy a stock at 9:05 and they want to get rich by 1:05 in the afternoon. The King of Cups, no offense to you, is your king. If we're looking at them in terms of stockbroker or a stock investor, this is someone who's just looking at, oh, it feels good. Oh, yeah, I bought makeup that company manufactures last week, and I like the makeup, so I'm just going to buy the stock. They don't do any base knowledge. They're just motivated by feeling when it comes to buying and selling. And they take the hardest hit because they're ruled by their emotions. King of Pentacles is different. I want all the data on this stock in this company. I want to know how they, what stock market trends they had over the last 24-month period or 4-year period. You know, this is someone before they invest their pentacle resources, they're very shrewd. They're very careful. They're also the long-term investor. They buy a stock at 9:05 on a Tuesday. They're not selling it for 30 years. They know it's going to go up, it's going to go down, but at the end of the day, at the end of that 10, 20, 30, 40-year time period, this is like the CD investor, okay? They're okay with putting their money away or buying a stock because they know at the end, If they wait it out, it'll end up higher than what they originally bought it for. So it's a very smart, analytical when it comes to how to invest Pentacle resource. And that's how you have to be when this person or offer, the person who comes in that Taurus or Leo season for you, but also the person who's coming in June for you as well. You really have to measure them, measure with that measuring tape there. And again, if it doesn't feel good, in that 9 of Cups, no, you're a no. Based upon your past experience, doesn't sound good, doesn't look good, you're a no. Same thing when it comes to this person. You'll need to make a judgment call with them as well. So take your time before you say yes, even to the person in June. I'm glad that I was reminded of that. Okay, little long on your reading. I apologize. You and Scorpio got the longest reads this time around, but let's close it out now with a Moonology card. The abundant universe will provide. Trust in that. Don't fall for anything shady anymore. You're on the right track now. Trust your intuition. Moonology card here for the Pisces Collective. One more shuffle. Thank you. Look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. It's what the King of Pentacles would do, right? When it comes to investing time, love, money, talent, agreeing to anything, compromising to anything. They look at the bigger picture, even though it's Sagittarius energy, which consequently, you had the symbol here for Sagittarius. So look at the bigger picture. Bottom of the deck, you and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Cancer. Universe loves you. Universe will provide for you. Don't capitulate to anything here anymore. Surrender to the divine. What do you need to release? That pattern. That pattern where you give others grace when they don't deserve it. It's a beautiful quality to have, but it's also something you gotta reel in. You have to know when to give grace and when not to give grace. And the best way for you to do that is to utilize that book of knowledge that you and only you have as the High Priestess of Tarot. That is what I have for you, Pisces. That is your full moon and Scorpio message. If you like that message, it resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video on your mobile device if you're able to do that. And don't forget to check out your other placements. Until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace.